right, man, let's talk. So apparently the Pistons are not getting any Christmas Day games. I'm going to speak on that, and I'll speak on the opening schedule in another video. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And I in my opinion, man, I'm not gonna speak on this on the main channel, not in long format version. Maybe a short, I might talk about it. But the NBA got to move on, man. They got to move on from, the LeBrons, the Steph Curry era. Even now, really the Jokic era. The Denver Nuggets is just an old team. I just think at some point we had enough. And it really shouldn't be Denver and Steph Curry, or Steph Curry and Jokic late night. I do like the Timberwolves and the Thunder game. The Heat and the Celtics. The Celtics, they this prize team and shit. I get it. They this historic team. Honestly, I'm just tired of just trying to see NBA push this old shit, this old tradition. It's not selling. And realistically, I don't know if the Spurs is on the schedule. I think they might be playing the Celtics or something like that. But your top guys should be on there. I'm not mad at Luka and the 76ers, but it really should be the Heat and the Pistons, bro. Let's keep it a bean. Ain't a bad trip to Miami, Detroit. It ain't that bad. The Knicks and the Spurs it is. It should be like the Heat and the Pistons or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm not sure how many, national televised games the Pistons have. But in general, Minnesota, they really trying to push this, they're really trying to push this international push. And that's the thing. They're trying to push internationally. And then they're trying to push, they trying to, how you got the tube of toothpaste and you trying to get the last little toothpaste out the tube. That's what they doing with LeBron and Steph and KD. And they had that era, bro. It's the LaMelo Ball, the Anthony Edwards, the Cade Cunningham. It's their era, bro. Cooper Flag. It's the young guys' era. Allow them to turn the key over to them. Because y'all didn't milk, I get it, the 76ers and playing the Lakers. I get it. I really do get it. And I'm not mad at that game. But they got to do more. They got to do more to put their young stars on the pedestal. You have to do a changeover. When you dealing with different products and stuff, at some point when they change over from 2024 to 2025 or to 2026 to 2027, there's got to be a changeover, especially when you're dealing with automotive. There's a changeover in parts and some of the parts, especially if it's a major overhaul of a car. The NBA has to make that changeover. You got enough out of LeBron. You got enough out of Steph. You got everything you need to get. Because when they're no longer there, what do you have? You haven't done a great job of spotlighting your younger players, bro. They've done a horrible job of advertising American stars. They ain't done enough for Anthony Edwards. Jalen Brunson literally should be, be celebrated and pushed all over ESPN for bringing the championship back to New York. Last time they won was 78, 77, something like that. Phil Jackson was on the team, hooping. They're not doing enough. They're not even trying to push American stars. It's the international stars and the old ass superstars. That's it. They don't even try to push the American stars, bro. It got to the point where they're not even trying to push them to certain markets. They're not even trying to do that. If you don't think part of LeBron going to LA had anything, going to 76ers or going to LA wasn't a league decision, it most definitely was a league decision. But it's just, sorry, I had to stop and go in there and run. I just had enough, man. And it's not like their numbers up. And I know people go say, well, they said their numbers was up last year. They wasn't. They just changed the way they rated. They changed the way they measure Nielsen ratings. They changed the way they measure TV. So it made it seem like their ratings are not up, and it's just like they don't care. And then you have like Nike and you have these companies saying Adidas, where they're not selling shoes because the NBA players are not popular. Some people may make the argument of saying that, well, the NBA players are not marketable anymore because everybody is a superstar now. Everybody got a verified check. Streamer, but that's not, in my opinion, that's not the case. That's not the case. Guys are no longer marketable because nobody likes watching the NBA. As deep analytical as this generation has gotten, it allowed, nerds and lames to get in there and be analytical. It messed up the game of basketball. And as much as they talk about ethical and non-ethical basketball and efficient, it's a very unofficial brand of basketball, non-fundamental. Everybody jacking up threes. You 7'5" or 7 foot, and they saying the best shot for you is a 3-pointer. Like, but in general, it's just always the same thing in the NBA. Like, the Pistons got to take their respect. And even when they get their respect, it's not even enough that they got to take their respect. You know what I'm saying? It's just never respected. It's never put on a pedestal. And that's the problem with the NBA. The NFL is going to put their best product on. Regardless you say about Kansas City, Mahomes, they earned it. They earned the right to kind of have that motion going on. They earned that right. The Patriots earned that right to have that motion. The NFL is going. I'm not saying it's not no manipulation in the NFL. This is America. But they're going to put their best product on there, on the pedestal. Now, do they have where they always going to put Dallas in the spot and Pittsburgh? Yeah, it is what it is. Same thing with Boston, LA. They going to have that. But if Kansas City come up, or Buffalo come up, or Detroit come up, or the Packers get in where they fit in, they one of the historic teams. But, let's say, Baltimore, they've been one of the, premier teams. They going to put them on the pedestal. And that's the NBA problem. They try so hard to push against parity. That's why I feel like the salary cap is a bunch of hogwash. The salary cap is a bunch of hogwash, in my opinion. It really is. Because you don't really want an equal playing field. They don't. We know they manipulated the draft lottery. We know that. We know they did. They know they need to stop certain trades or put guys on certain teams or whatever the situation may be. We know that they manipulated it. But they don't want parity in the NBA. They don't want Atlanta to be good. They don't want Detroit to be good. They don't really want Cleveland unless LeBron or Michael Jordan. They don't want certain franchises to be good. Then what's the point of being a fan if you hoping and the NBA don't give you a chance to be great? There's nowhere near equal opportunity in the NBA, bro. A lot of these teams is like, certain TV episodes that you get back in the day. You might have 20 episodes in the season, even though I liked it that way. And you might have like 5 of them might be fillers. And sometimes a filler episode could be good, but, most of these dudes are fillers. Most of these teams, the 80% of the teams in the NBA are fillers. And this is what happened when you pushing towards casual fans. When casual fans are the majority, this is the problem. This is why you get on TV and they talk about, the Celtics and the Cowboys and the LeBron going at the same time. This is why you get so much of that oversaturation. That's an oversaturation of that, bro. That's why. That's exactly why. Because that's all casuals want to hear, and it's just like they didn't fuck the game up. But in general, the Pistons should have been on Christmas, in my opinion. Shit, at least Cleveland, goddamn. But I mean, it is what it is. But hey, they should hopefully have a lot of nationally televised games. But hey, check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram. Everything is in the link in the description. But hey, I feel like the Pistons should have been on Christmas. They shouldn't have to win a championship to be on Christmas. It's the same shit every year with the NBA. I've been started watching NBA on Christmas. Ain't nothing really to give a fuck about. That's why the NFL invaded Christmas Day. That's why the NFL invaded Christmas Day. That's why. The NBA is slipping on their pimping. You know, but hey, it is what it is. Peace.